Hello again, I am Blunty, and a little while ago, from the perspective of when I'm recording this video, the video itself probably won't be uploaded and viewable by you people until at least 24 hours after the video I'm referencing that just went up that I'm talking about. I think that makes sense. Was about the new Google Nexus 7 tablet, and amongst the comments there was a trend evolving about something I said, and it was about the lack of a rear-facing camera on the Nexus 7 device. And so many comments have been going, well, why wouldn't you just use a proper camera if you want to take a photo? Why don't you just use a proper camera? Why don't you use the camera in your phone? If cameras and tablets are shitty anyway, why would you even want a rear-facing camera when they're all bad? Are you stupid? Are you honestly so myopic, so limited in your imagination or experience of technology that you think the only purpose for a rear-facing camera is to take beautiful, artistic photographs? I'm here to tell you, it's not true. There are tons of things you can do with a rear-facing camera on a tablet. Tons of reasons why a rear-facing camera on a tablet is useful. And tons of reasons why not having one is a bit crippling, is limiting. Let's run through just a few examples, and this isn't even all the examples I can think of. I just had to limit it down just to sort of cover a spectrum of potential uses for you. Photographing products. For example, for a blog post, you're out and about, you've got your tablet, you're typing up a blog post because it's got the nice big screen, or bigger screen than your phone, and it's easy to type on, easy to create content on. So you're typing up your blog post, you need a photo of the product or whatever you're about to post about. So you grab the tablet, rear-facing camera so you can see what you're doing, you go plump, and then you add that picture straight to your blog post, and it goes live, and job done. Now sure, you could take it with your phone and then sync it over to the thing, to your Wi-Fi, or email it to yourself, or doing whatever you have to, but that's awkward. Why not just have it all in one device? Isn't that more convenient? Isn't that simpler? Yes, it is. And maybe you're taking photos of stuff you're not even ever going to post. You're not going to show anybody. You're just taking it to remind yourself of something. I do it all the time. I take photos of DVDs I come across. I mean, oh, I need to look that up later online to see if I can get the whole series or whatever it is I'm doing. I take photos of products or stuff or things just as a reminder, as an easy way. Instead of having to type out a note or write down a note, just go click, done, memory, I'll come back to that later, job done. That's handy. Maybe you're a painter, an artist, or whatever reason you've got to take pictures of architecture, for example, or people on the street just for artist reference model. If someone's sitting a certain way on a bench, you just go, oh, snap, and you got that. The rear-facing camera makes that a whole lot easier. Maybe you've got your tablet in your hand when that's happening. You don't want to miss the moment. Rear-facing camera, done, handy, useful. Are you starting to get the point here? Even when you're photographing things and objects in three-dimensional space, it's not always about getting a beautiful, photograph that's worthy to stick on a wall or even upload to Instagram things. Sometimes it's just about having that image stored quickly, easily, rapidly. That's why a rear-facing camera is so handy, and it doesn't even stop there. How about scanning QR barcodes? They're becoming more and more popular here in the West. They've been popular in Japan for many, many years now, and you're starting to see more and more here on advertisements and stuff like that. QR barcodes, much easier to scan if you've got a rear-facing camera. Regular barcodes, there are a ton of apps out there, including ones for books and DVDs, so you can collect your whole library. You just scan in your product, it looks online for all the detail, and loads it into your private little library of your content that you've got. That makes it, or if you're in a store, you could scan the barcode, it looks on Amazon or whatever, and go, oh, Amazon's got that particular book for $20 cheaper, I'll buy it from Amazon instead. I mean, retail stores hate when that happens, but that's another reason rear-facing cameras are incredibly handy to have. How about data entry? There are even some apps out there where you can take a photograph of a printed page, for example, in a magazine or in a pamphlet you've just been given or in a press pack you've just been given. You can take a picture of that, run it through optical character recognition software. It will transfer that into editable text straight away, so you can cut and paste and slam it into your blog post or email it to someone or do whatever you need to do with it, editable text form, without having to type it in all manually. That is much easier and much quicker with a rear-facing camera. Sure, you could try and do it with a front-facing camera while you're trying to look at the camera and take, it's a nightmare to try and do it with a front-facing, with a rear-facing camera, much easier. On that same ilk, scanning in business cards, much easier to do with a rear-facing camera. You can scan in a business card. There are apps there again that are specifically designed to digitize the information on business cards and load it directly into your address book on your tablet device or your phone or whatever it is. Much easier to do with a rear-facing camera. You can use your rear-facing camera to scan in loyalty cards, the stuff you get from the coffee shops or your shopping or whatever, the ones with the barcodes on them. You scan them and you get points back or whatever the hell it is, so they can track your shopping habits, really is what it's all about. But those loyalty cards, some people use them, you get rewards or free coffee every now, I don't know, whatever. You can use the rear-facing camera on that to take a picture of that barcode. Then you don't have to carry a wallet full of those cards around. You can just hold up your device and, oh, it's just, you know, I took a picture of it, just scan that. That's fine, it works perfectly. Lots of people do it. Rear-facing camera makes that a hell of a lot easier. There are apps out there that will translate text from different languages live using the camera. You point your camera at a bit of Spanish signage when you're wandering through the wilderness of Tijuana or whatever it is, and it will translate that sign into English that you can read live using the rear-facing camera. You can't do that effectively with a front-facing camera only. You need a rear-facing camera to do that because you're looking at the screen while it's pointing at the thing over there. That's how it works. That is really, really handy to have a rear-facing camera to do. It's not all about pretty photography. It's not all about, why don't you just use a normal, regular DSLR camera instead if you're interested in taking pictures. It's stupid. Think. What's wrong with you? No imagination, no creativity. I even came across an app the other day that will generate floor plans of the building you're in using the camera to scan the building and the gyroscope and the GPS signal to actually map out the room for you. I mean, there are so many other reasons to have a rear-facing camera that's really, really handy to have and really, really indispensable sometimes. And when it's not there, you can't do any of that stuff. It's not just about taking photographs. Okay? So stop it. Why would you even want a rear-facing camera on a tablet? They're all horrible anyway. You won't be able to take nice pictures. Why don't you use a regular camera? Stop with that stuff. Just breathe and think. There are so many reasons to have a rear-facing camera on a tablet device that are much, 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 much more handy and useful than just taking a picture, taking a photograph. All right? If you're video conferencing, and I've done this with the FaceTime thing on the iPhone and the iPad, you can actually switch cameras around. So instead of staring at your face, I want to show you something. Switch the camera, rear-facing camera, point it at what you're showing the person you're video conferencing with. Another reason for a rear-facing camera that has nothing to do with taking photographs. And you can't do that with a normal camera. Really? None of you, this doesn't occur to you people? People are stupid. People who leave that kind of comment are stupid. Every time you see that kind of comment, why would you want a rear camera? Just comment, reply to them, say, Blunty says you are stupid. Ridiculously, thoughtlessly, just zero imagination, creative suckhole of pathetic, lacking in any experience or thought or get a clue. Rear-facing cameras are so handy, and that is one of the reasons why I was disappointed to find out that the Nexus 7 doesn't have one. Alright, I feel much better for getting that out of my system. Go away. Well, leave a comment telling me why it's a stupid idea to have a rear-facing camera now. Come on. I dare you to come up with a valid excuse why a rear-facing camera is a detrimental thing to the product. I dare you. Thanks for watching. I am Blunty, and we'll catch you next time. Oh, and by the way, this entire video recorded on a tablet device with a rear-facing camera. It doesn't matter how good the camera quality is. I mean, you can probably see a lot of noise in the dark areas here. That's typical of reasonably low quality cameras. But none of that matters because this is a YouTube video that's conveying information. I'm not making a high-def fucking movie here, guys. You know? Sometimes it's just about getting the information across, and you can do that even with a half-decent camera. Trust me on this. Cameras are useful things for more than photography.